Morning, Sean.
Morning, Mrs. Fletcher. Say, you wouldn't have the time, would you?
It's 10:15. Why?
I was supposed to meet Milton Becker here at 10, but the gallery's still closed. I called his house and only got the answering machine.
It's not like Milton to be late for an appointment.
I know, it's silly, but I got worried and called Milton's brother Donnie at Brushstrokes. He said Milton's probably lost track of time at the gallery. He suggested I just let myself in. Apparently, Milton keeps a spare key hidden in his house. Care to join me?
Why not? It's a lovely day, and I could use the walk.
Good morning, Jessica. I can't imagine why my brother Milton is running late on a fine day like this.
It's going to take a lot of searching to find that key. Donnie told me the key's in a bottle somewhere, but Mr. Becker's got a flair for theatrics.
Well, there's no time to lose. Let's poke around and find it.
Milton, are you in here? Oh no. Milton!
Sean, call Sheriff Metzger.
And you should plan on sticking around town.
Yes, Sheriff. I should go tell his brother Donnie, if that's all right.
Donnie over at Brushstrokes, right? Sure. All right, Mrs. F. Now let's have a look around.
Donnie seemed pretty close to his brother. He'd know if Milton had enemies. Who could have hated him enough to kill him? We should speak to him and find out if he knows what could have led to such a turn of events. Donnie, I'm so sorry about Milton. How are you holding up?
I'm doing okay. I can't believe Milton's gone. It's funny, but it's the little things that have been really getting to me. The neighborhood kids have been messing around with the red display balloons. Normally it would just be a hassle, but today, it's just too much.
Oh, Donnie, I'm sorry. Maybe I can help with that. But really, quickly, the painting that was stolen from the gallery. Do you remember which one it was?
Sure, it was Portrait of a Garden, the landscape by the famous Maurice Arsenault, my old friend. It was the last work he produced before his untimely death.
Well, what brings you here?
We're on the lookout for clues. We'll be back in a while to see you, Sabrina.
Mrs. Fletcher, I know it's silly, but I've locked myself out of my studio. I broke the window, but I still can't reach my keys. Any ideas?
You must be here on your investigation.
We wanted to ask you a couple of questions, but you seem to be busy.
The renovators working on my office spilled blue paint all over the stairs, and I was trying to get it cleaned up. Come on in.
Blue paint again. This code could be the key to figuring out if it's the same shade as what I found at the crime scene. The renovations seem to be coming along nicely, Sabrina.
Jessica, Sheriff Metzger. How nice of you to stop in. Yes, it's slow going, but we're making progress.
Ms. Arsenault, I need to ask you a few questions about Milton Becker. What's your relationship to him?
He was an associate of my father's. That's all. Can you show me something that would prove otherwise?
Milton was an associate of your father's. Then how do you explain this letter?
Where did you get that? I suppose it doesn't matter. Milton and I were engaged in a legal battle over my father's final portrait of a garden.
What sort of legal battle, Sabrina?
My father promised me the painting, but after his death, Milton claimed it was gallery property. As if I would let him get away with stealing my inheritance.
Brilliant. I thought I'd be stuck here all day. Welcome, I'm sorry for the mess. You're here about Milton Becker's death, aren't you, Mrs. Fletcher?
Word travels quickly. I was hoping you could tell me something about the painting that was stolen.
Portrait of a Garden? Well, it's extremely valuable. Not only is it Uncle Maurice's last work, it's also considered to be his finest.
Oh dear. Whoever stole it must have known this, meaning we're dealing with someone very knowledgeable about the art world.
Did you ever have any kind of resentment against your brother, Donnie?
That was a long time ago. Milton stole the paper I wrote to get into art school and claimed it was his. It doesn't really bother me anymore, though. I found success in my own small way.
Sheriff, Mrs. Fletcher, what are you doing back here?
Miss Bateman, I think you stole the painting from Milton Becker's art gallery and killed Milton when he caught you in the act.
You can't prove that. You can't even prove that I was at the gallery last night.
Miss Bateman, this paint found on the victim's face proves that you were there the night of the murder. Only one artist in Cabot Cove uses this shade of blue. You.
Maybe I was there. Milton had invited me to meet him at the gallery to discuss some ideas he had to promote my work. That's what he said anyway. When we got inside, he made a pass at me instead, so I slapped him. Oh, that's how my paint got on his face. He was alive when I left him, I swear.
I've seen marks like the ones that this penknife made on the paperweight before. On the frame of the stolen painting. Perhaps I can compare the two of them at the gallery.
Back again so soon. Can I help you with something?
You were in the gallery the night of Milton's murder, weren't you? You left your footprints behind.
Can you prove that?
Sabrina, we know you were at the art gallery the night Milton Becker was murdered. We found footprints on the floor that match with this shoe we found in the dumpster right outside your office.
Yes, it's true. I was there. I'd failed to convince Milton to give me my father's painting, so I decided to just take it.
And then you killed him.
What? No. And I didn't even steal the painting. By the time I got to the gallery, it was already gone. The killer, too, I hope. I was going to use a penknife to cut the canvas out of its frame, but I lost my nerve and ran out when I saw Milton's body on the floor.
You're a savior. I thought I'd have to dig my way out of here.
Now that we can finally look you in the eye, we'd like you to answer a couple of questions. What's this about a beef you had with Milton?
I always had a hunch that he was shorting me on my commissions, but that's nothing I would kill him over. I've been more enterprising lately, and have been trying to find more professional suppliers. I even broke off relations with brushstrokes.
So you no longer buy supplies from Donnie?
Nope. He was all willing to give me discounted rates and everything to get my business back. The receipt from my last stone delivery is lying around somewhere. You'll see it was for free.
My goodness! Is that blood on this chisel? Mustn't leap to conclusions. Could well be paint after all. I should do some research to be sure of what I suspect. This is conclusive evidence that proves that Sean's chisel was the tool used to steal the painting and to murder Milton. It's time to demand an explanation.
Oh, you came at a bad time. I was just gonna lock up and step out to get some supplies.
We just need a few minutes to discuss this little thing we found. Something that ties you to the murder and theft without any trace of a doubt. Sean, these fingerprints we found on an invoice at the gallery are yours beyond a doubt. And these here test results prove the tool used for the theft and murder was chisel. Your chisel, to be precise. You were there the night Milton Becker was killed, Sean. You want to tell us why?
Fine. I wanted to go through Milton's invoices. I was looking for proof that he was cheating me on the sales of my work. When I got to the gallery that night, the door was unlocked. And Milton was dead on the floor with my chisel through his back.
So you took the chisel and hid it here? Why didn't you just report the murder to the police?
I was terrified, not thinking straight. I knew that someone must have been trying to set me up, and I didn't want the sheriff to find my chisel in Milton. Or in me. The killer could have still been there. So I decided I'd just hide all the evidence and get out of there. Then I tried to keep my morning appointment with Milton, so no one would ever suspect me.
You could have saved us a whole lot of trouble if you'd been more responsible. Are we the only ones who know about this? Did you confess this to Miss Bateman when you had coffee with her this morning?
What, Natalie? I haven't been to her place since we broke up. And besides, I'm allergic to caffeine. See?
Natalie, who really was drinking coffee in your studio earlier? We know it wasn't you. And we know it couldn't have been Sean.
How can you be so sure it wasn't Sean's? Do you have proof that it wasn't?
Sean told us himself about how he's allergic to caffeine. That means it wasn't him who was here drinking coffee. And it wasn't you either, dear. So who was it?
I didn't want to lie to you, Mrs. Fletcher, but I promised I wouldn't tell. You saw what happens to people in this town who can't keep their mouths shut.
I understand, Natalie. I think it's time we see what lies beyond that locked door.
You figured it out. My uncle is alive. Everyone knows that when an artist dies, his work becomes much more valuable, so he faked his death so he could sell his paintings for more money. He's been hiding out here with me.
In order to carry out such an ambitious plan, he must have someone helping him on the outside.
I think this letter has something to do with that.
Halt in the name of the law!
What's this? What's going on?
It's good to see you back from the dead, Maurice. You're looking well.
Sheriff, we need to find the painting.
Well done, Mrs. Fletcher. You solved Milton's murder and unraveled my carefully laid plans with one stroke of the brush. I'm impressed.
It would have been the perfect plan, if you could have left Milton alive. When you used Donnie's key to the gallery, Milton was in the back, washing Natalie's handprint off his face. When he emerged, he caught you in the act of stealing the painting, cutting it out with Sean's stolen chisel.
Then you killed him so not to have your plan ruined.
But being caught in the act wasn't your only motive for murder, was it, Maurice?
Milton's ex-wife, Odette, is my sister. The way he treated her up until the divorce, I thought no one would ever suspect a dead man for murder.
Since Sean found the door unlocked when he arrived at the gallery, you must have still been inside.
I hid in a closet and I heard Sean come in. Then Sabrina arrived. My God! It seemed like everyone in Cabot Cove had business there that night.
What did you get out of the deal, Donnie?
A cut of the profit and revenge. Milton's getting into art school with my essay still rankles.
I've heard enough. Get these two out of here.
Have you ever arrested a dead man, Sheriff?
Nope. There's a first time for everything.
I can't wait to show you this chess set I won at the Moose Lodge charity auction, Jess. The pieces are carved from real marble.
It's nice that you were able to get something you like so much, and help the Moose Lodge's favorite cause at the same time.
Why is it so quiet here? I thought for sure someone would be around. Wait a minute. What's that over there?
Oh my! Is that a person? It's Daniel Lane! What happened here? We should hurry over to the Lane household and break this terrible news to Maddie.
Isn't that right across the street? Lead the way.
Doctor? Jessica? Oh no, it's Daniel, isn't it? Is he all right?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Lane. He's dead. It looks like he was electrocuted.
Oh God. Daniel, what happened? Was it an accident?
Maybe not.
I can't believe this.
Maddie, please sit down before you upset yourself more. We'll do everything we can to find out why this happened to Daniel.
What's the next course of action, Jess?
Well, I would like to see if I can discuss with an electrician the possibilities of murder by electrocution.
Oh, maybe you should speak to Rick at his store on the next street over. He was a good friend of Daniel's and might be able to help you.
My abacus is missing. My lucky abacus. I simply cannot get to work without it. That silly receptionist girl must have hid it, I'm sure of it. The nerve of her! I refuse to start work without it!
Well, who do we have here? What brings you here, Mrs. Fletcher?
Good afternoon, Rick. We have an odd question for you. How difficult would it be to kill someone by electrocution?
Aha! Is this for the plot of your next book?
I wish that it were. Daniel Lane was found electrocuted to death at Moose Lodge this morning, and Mrs. Fletcher has reason to think that it may have been done deliberately.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Well, it wouldn't be too difficult, really. Some tampered wire insulation, an improperly installed safety ground in the outlet, add in some water, and all you'd have to do is touch the exposed wire to be zapped.
Hey there, Jessica.
Hello, Vern. We were hoping to get information about Daniel from you, since you're a member of the lodge.
Daniel, such a shame about what happened to him, just after he was voted president, too. Now that he's gone, I'm the president of the lodge. I knew it had happened. I only wish it was under better circumstances.
I didn't know the Moose Lodge election happened so recently. What do you mean that it was eventually going to happen? Did you think that the presidential poll was unfair?
I took a rough poll before the election and disguised it using symbols. I'm pretty sure that the election was rigged so that Daniel would win.
Mrs. Fletcher, if you're here on your investigation, I'll let you know right now there's no way I'm letting you into my shop. You'll scare away my customers.
But as a member of Moose Lodge, you're a valuable lead.
I'm not a member anymore. I was kicked out weeks ago. Unless you need advice about various medications, I can't help you. Where did you find that? It looks like something from my store. Very well then, come on inside. Well, go ahead. Ask whatever you like.
Well, did Daniel ever come to you for any sort of medications?
I'm a pharmacist. I sell quite a few medications every day. It's hard to keep track. I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel was self-medicating, though. He'd been on edge ever since a big argument with Rick, almost like he knew what was coming.
An argument? Was it about the rewiring work on the lodge?
Bingo. Daniel insisted on going with the lowest bidder to save money, and Rick wasn't the lowest bidder, so he picked another contractor. He said the lodge was short on cash, which is true. Just ask our accountant, Mr. Cotter, to let you have a look at our ledger, and you'll know why.
There it is. Splendid work, Miss Detective. Now I can get to work. You want to look at the Moose Lodge's accounting register? That's highly irregular, Doctor. I'm afraid we need that financial information to look for clues regarding Daniel Lane's murder, Pearlie.
We could always just get the sheriff to ask the judge for a search warrant, Pearlie.
No, that won't be necessary. I'll show it to you later, when I'm not quite so busy.
I couldn't help but overhear you from the secretary's desk. I think I have what you need back at home, so come by and I'll show you.
So Maddie works here as a secretary, does she? We should definitely see what she wants to show us.
Jessica, something terrible has happened. Someone broke in while I was away.
Are you all right, Maddie? We should look around and see if the burglar took anything. But Maddie, before I investigate, I'd like to ask you something personal.
What is it that you need to know?
It seems you and Ted are very close. Is there anything going on between you two?
No, why would you think that? How dare you imply... What proof do you have? Where did you find that? Did you read them?
I happened to come across them by accident. How long have you and Ted been seeing each other?
I confess, Ted and I have been in a relationship since even before the divorce. He's always been a huge support, more than Daniel ever was. I suppose there's no hiding anything from you, is there? Go ahead and look around. Whoever broke in here went through all of Daniel's things, and they took the ledger with them. I was sure that a look through the numbers in there would make all doubts about the accounts of the lodge clear. And the final results of the poll were in there too.
Well, we all know who'd be interested in that now, don't we?
Some time ago, Daniel told me that the password to the lodge's safe is the same as the computer's password.
Oh dear. Hopefully the burglar doesn't know this information and break into the lodge as well. I'll take a note of this and investigate the lodge in a bit. There are quite a few tools used for electrical wiring here. We know who has the easiest access to those. Rick. If any of the things here can be traced back to him, then he's going to have a lot of explaining to do.
Back again, are you?
Rick, only an electrician would have the know-how to stage a murder to look like an electrical accident. I think you knew that Daniel passed you over, even though you actually were the lowest bidder on the contract, and you killed him in revenge.
Do you have an alibi for the time Daniel was killed, Rick?
I'm afraid I don't, Jessica, but this is nonsense. I can tell you that none of this stuff came from my shop.
Well, that's a little hard to believe. We have some things we found at the crime scene that I believe we can trace back to you.
Go on and try.
Jessica, I didn't hear you come in. Can I help you?
I just wanted to know, Vern. Why did you break into Daniel and Maddie's home?
I didn't break into anyone's home. Do you have any proof of that? I was in a hurry. I wanted to get in and out before Maddie came home, and I didn't even notice that I'd cut my leg until later.
So you're the one who took the lodge's accounting ledger from Daniel's house.
Yes, but only by accident. I thought I had the lodge's official record book, where we note down the ballot counts from elections. I know it was stupid to take them, but I couldn't let go of the feeling that someone had tampered with the results. I had to find out if the election was rigged by Daniel or someone else.
If the sheriff hears of this, you might have to make a trip to his office.
I don't think we should jump to conclusions. Vern was only finding closure to the election's unexpected results. Before we do anything hasty, we should examine the ledger and see if there are any clues we can find.
I've told you, Doctor, I'm a busy man. Pearlie, we know that you've been embezzling money from Moose Lodge.
The numbers in this ledger prove it.
Me? Embezzle from my friends? These claims are uncalled for. There is no way you could have the ledger. Show it to me, because I don't believe either of you. Oh, fine, you got me. No, Daniel never knew. Well, I don't think he did.
Looks like I arrived just on time. Thanks for the tip, Jess. It sounds to me like you've got a pretty good motive for murder, Mr. Carter. You're gonna have to come with me. I'm holding you on charges of embezzlement and on suspicion of murder.
This is an outrage. Isn't a man allowed certain benefits in this field of work?
I'm sure we can have a long talk about your benefits, Mr. Carter, at the station. Jessica, I'll be escorting Mr. Carter to the office now. Come over there when you're ready. I think the boys have found something interesting.
Must I repeat myself, officer? I was with my grandchildren last night, having the most bland and tasteless dinner you can imagine.
Well, Mr. Carter, if your grandchildren aren't able to back your story up, you're in for a world of trouble.
Don't believe me, do you? If you'd tasted the soup, just terrible.
Well, Jess, I think Mr. Carter's in the clear. He seems pretty confident about his alibi. The evidence is in the box on my desk, but I lost a piece of the lock when I dropped it by mistake. It's gotta be around somewhere. Now, that's a piece of the wire Daniel had in his hand. Our analysts found that the sediment on the wire is refined
Salt. So the puddle that Daniel was lying in was not just ordinary water, but pure saline. I should ask Rick whether saline is a better conductor of electricity.
Here's the report that the team put together, Jess. Maybe it'll come in handy.
Rick, does saline conduct electricity better than fresh water?
Yes, it increases the conductivity exponentially.
Those bottles aren't mine. I got that icebox for repair a week ago, but I hadn't been able to open it.
Do you have the repair order with you? Who brought it over?
I misplaced the order in the clutter over here, I'm afraid. I don't see why I need to prove anything to you regarding these bottles anyway. And just what is this?
According to this report, Daniel Lane was found in a puddle of pure saline, and these bottles happen to have been filled with it. If you can't prove that this icebox isn't yours, I'm afraid that this serves as highly incriminating evidence against you.
I don't know whose these are. I guess I'll just turn myself in until things get sorted out.
I know I'm biased after being friends with Vern for all these years, but I really don't think he did it. I'm going to assume he's telling the truth, which means I have to find out who this icebox belonged to.
Find something of interest, Jessica?
What were you doing at the Lane residence, Rick? And why were you going through files on Daniel's computer?
What are you talking about? I've been right here all day. You can't prove that I wasn't. That's just a towel I used to wipe my hands clean during work. You can't prove anything with that.
I don't think so. When an intruder broke into Daniel and Maddie's house, he tipped over a pot of ink. Vern Gander admits that he broke in, but you must have been there too, and you wiped your inky fingers clean on this towel.
Fine. I was passing by and saw the broken window. No one was home, so I decided to go inside and look for anything that might explain why Daniel hired an outside contractor instead of me. See, these are printouts of emails from Daniel's computer.
Hello, Jessica. How's the investigation coming?
Sheriff Metzger's making progress. For instance, we now know why Daniel passed Rick Thibodeau over for the rewiring contract, even though he was the lowest bidder.
You do?
Yes, and we know who put Daniel up to it. You, Maddie.
Ridiculous. Do you have proof that I would do such a thing? These emails, how did you... Oh, well, Rick's work has always been substandard. It just made sense to pass that information on to Daniel. Ted just wanted what was best for the lodge, that's all.
At the expense of a fellow member, it would seem. Well, you'll be happy to know that we're very close to discovering the source of the saline found at the murder scene. This case will be wrapped up soon.
Really? That's impressive.
We're headed to the lodge ourselves now to take another sample of that saline. I'm sure it will lead us straight to the criminal. You won't be able to remove every last trace of salt residue from the floor, Ted.
Jessica. Sheriff Metzger. I was just looking for something I think I dropped over here during the charity auction.
Nice try, Ted. The saline we found in the icebox at Vern's was from your store. You stripped the wires and used the saline to make sure the shock Daniel Lane received was a fatal one.
You got me. I didn't want Daniel in the hospital. I wanted him dead. If anyone questioned whether it was more than just an accident, I thought both Vern and Rick would make lovely suspects. Everyone knew that Rick, our town electrician, was mad about not receiving the contract, and Vern spent so much time yammering about the conspiracy that made Daniel president of the lodge that it was almost too easy to drop my icebox at his place and lay the trail at his feet. I thought no one could trace it back to me.
And you did all of this so you could be with Maddie. Her divorce was nearly final. Why couldn't you wait a little longer?
Because if I had waited, she would have gotten only half of their joint property. Now Maddie inherits everything, and I get to enjoy it.
I can't believe you used me like this. That's it, Ted. We're finished.
You heard the lady, Ted. You're finished. Let's go.
Thanks for helping me out, Jessica. Again.
I'm glad everything worked out for the best. Pearlie's lawyer has indicated that he'd like to work out a way to pay back the money he embezzled.
And that contractor Daniel hired walked off the job. So Rick gets to do the rewiring project after all.
The Moose Lodge has other kinds of rebuilding to do as well. But as the new president, I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Colleen, thanks for meeting me here so early. I know the library here at St. Bridget's College in beautiful Waterford, Ireland, has all the resources I need to research my next book.
The pleasure's all mine, Jess. Besides, I have something I'd like to show you. A new addition to our rare books collection.
Oh, good heavens! You better call an ambulance, Colleen, and the police.
Have either of you ladies seen this man before?
No, he's a stranger to me.
I'm only visiting Ireland. I'm sure we've never met.
Good morning, Inspector. Ladies.
And you are?
Daniel Patrick Brennan, attorney for St. Bridget's Health and Safety Department. I'm here to oversee the investigation of this unfortunate incident and to represent the college's interests.
Michael Haggerty, what on earth are you doing here?
Can't talk now, Jessica. On assignment from MI6. I'll fill you in later, but for now, don't let my real identity slip.
Mum's the word.
I'll need a word with this Seamus. He's our most important lead. What with the victim carrying around a list with his name on it?
Oh, of course. My husband, he will be at his office here on campus.
Where could Seamus be? He's not in his office.
I just talked to one of the professors in the hallway. They said that Seamus should be here in a few minutes.
We'll wait for him then. What are these clippings on the wall about?
Jessica, I saw an ambulance in front of the library. What's going on?
A man was murdered there overnight, Seamus. We think his name was Johan Christensen.
It appears the man knew all about you, sir. He was carrying a list of names, including yours, with him.
Is that so? Unfortunately, I know little of the man, except that he was well known for his expertise in telling apart real documents from forgeries. Though he was controversial, to say the least.
Controversial, which means he must have had a lot of enemies. The preliminary results from the coroner's office are in. According to this, the victim died just after 11 in the night, and there are 2 different head wounds. I told you, a panther can sense what's an accident, and my senses have always been saying murder.
How delightful. New visitors to the Ulysses Club, a home away from home for any James Joyce scholars.
Sorry, Connor, no time for your James Joyce fiddle-faddle. We're here on official business.
Is something the matter?
I take it you've heard about the death of Mr. Johann Christensen at the library this morning? Well, I understand that before his death, he had contacted you about examining the exciting newly discovered James Joyce manuscript in the college library.
That's true. I found that manuscript among my late father's papers. Like me, he was an expert on Joyce's work. Word about it spread quickly, and Christensen was quite keen to have a look at it.
Previous to his contacting you, had you ever met Mr. Christensen before?
Never in person, nor have I ever been to his native Switzerland.
Jessica, I'm glad you finally caught up with me in my investigation. I'm hoping you've discovered something new in the course of your snooping.
Michael, you're being more mysterious than usual. What's going on?
I've been on the trail of a number of forged documents for nearly half a year now. We've had reason to believe that Johann Christensen was connected to it somehow.
Why would Johann be caught up in this mess?
Your guess is as good as mine. I was hoping to find something in his hotel room to point me in the right direction.
Oh, goodness. I can see why Christensen locked up his closet. That is an original Joyce document.
I believe Christensen was planning to use it to authenticate the new James Joyce discovery by Connor Healy. Don't worry, we'll get it back to Joyce Tower safe.
So Johann Christensen had a relative studying here in the college. The first order of business is to ask Seamus if he knows about this young man. We ought to meet him at once.
And how is your investigation going?
We found that the victim is somehow related to a student of the college, a student of literature named Ian Christensen.
I know the lad. You'll find him at the Gaelic pub down on Keating Street. I just happened to have found a pass to the pub laying out in the snow this morning. Here you go.
I see you got a pass into the pub. I think I'll join you.
What?
Are you Ian Christensen?
Yes?
So sorry to bother you, but are you related to Johann Christensen?
Unfortunately, yes. Johann Christensen was my father. Our relationship was strained at best. I wasn't too broken-hearted to hear of his death, I'll admit. But I didn't kill him, if that's what you're implying.
Oh, we didn't mean to imply anything, I'm sure. Could you tell us where you were last night?
Look, at the time of my father's death, I was here, writing. At least 20 people can confirm that.
Oh, Jess, I'm ashamed of myself. I just shut myself in here to keep from facing reality.
It's perfectly understandable that you feel this way, Colleen. But I'm afraid you're going to have to answer a couple of questions now. How do you think the victim could have gotten into the library last night? Are you sure you locked up properly before leaving?
Yes, I'm certain. I locked up and left as usual, and the key was with me. So I'm absolutely sure he must have come in another way.
What's going on? Inspector, Jessica.
We have reason to believe that you were at the scene of the crime last night, Mr. O'Brien. Care to explain what you were doing there?
This is preposterous! I refuse to speak unless you show me the definitive proof of what you claim. And what's this?
I'd like you to tell us that, Mr. O'Brien. This happens to be a sweater your wife knit you. Care to explain why it's covered in blood?
Fine, I admit it. The ruse is over. I killed him. The presence of a rival in the authentication business made me fly into a rage. I hit him on the head and killed him, and wiped the blood clean with the sweater I had on. I never thought you'd find it so quickly.
You are under arrest, Mr. O'Brien. You'll have to come with us.
Wait, Inspector. I can't help but feel that this was too easy. Seamus somehow seems too eager to take up the blame. I'd like to request that you keep him here until we're absolutely sure about this. If the clock made the killing blow, then the time that it stopped working would have to coincide with Christensen's time of death. Something just doesn't add up here. I must speak to Seamus immediately.
Back again, Jess?
Yes, and with a question. You claim to have killed Christensen with a blow to the head with one of your trophies, correct?
Yes, that's right. That's what I did. Must you have a reason to doubt me? What's this?
Yes, the autopsy report for Mr. Christensen's death. According to this, he suffered 2 blunt impacts to his head, and the first one was what killed him. His time of death has been calculated to have been around 12:10 a.m. However, the clock concealed inside this trophy is stuck at 1:40, which means that the blow rendered by the trophy came only after the man was dead. Seamus, why on earth would you do something like that?
My guess would be that he was trying to cover up for someone.
I have no intention to speak anymore. Take me into custody and be done with it.
Oh, Jess, about Seamus. Why, you can't be serious, can you? Isn't there any way to prove his innocence?
Incidentally, there is. Seamus was trying to cover up for someone's deed when he was here last night. And I'm rather sure that someone is you, Colleen.
Whatever do you mean? I didn't do anything that would need covering up, and you can't prove it. Is that... But how? It was broken!
Colleen, we found a bead from your bracelet in the library near where we found Mr. Christensen's body.
No, but... All right, I confess. Last night I did see him here in the library. Mr. Christensen turned up out of nowhere, demanding an early look at the manuscript. And when I refused, he tried to force me. He grabbed my wrist.
And that's how your bracelet was broken.
Yes, but I broke free and ran off. That's the last I saw of him, I swear. I don't know what went down afterwards, but the surveillance footage might tell you the rest of the story.
Seamus admitted to Inspector Liam during their private interrogation that he erased the footage from last night. But it's still worth a shot going through it to see if there's anything we can find.
Back again?
You weren't being completely honest about where you were last night, were you?
Why would I lie? Ask anyone here, they'll tell you. I was here all evening yesterday, and you can't prove otherwise. And what's this supposed to be?
Ian, this is a photo from the college library's surveillance camera. It proves you couldn't have been here all evening writing.
At least 20 people who were here can vouch for me.
Nice try, lad. But a pub full of half-drunk college students doesn't make for a very good alibi. You could easily have slipped out and then back in without anyone noticing, which is exactly what you did.
I guess the camera never lies. Well, I knew my father was in town to see the manuscript. I saw him pass by the pub, so I slipped out and followed him to the library. We had an argument there, but he was alive when I left him to come back here.
An argument? About what?
Personal stuff. The old man always thought too much of himself. We went back and forth for a while, then I just stormed out. I don't know what went down in there after that.
Seen mountains just like the one in this travel brochure somewhere. Maybe I should compare the two.
Oh, I see you found one of my old vacation photos.
Connor, when you said you've never been to Switzerland, you were lying, weren't you?
Why would I have need to lie? Do you think you can prove that I've been there? That.
Mr. Healy, I thought you told us that you'd never been to Switzerland. If that's so, then I wonder how you explain this picture of you there. The mountains in the background are the same as the ones in this travel brochure.
It would be easy enough to check your passport and your travel history. Unless you'd like to save us the trouble.
All right. I did go to Switzerland, and I met with Christensen while I was there. He was the most knowledgeable expert in document authentication I'd ever met. So I asked him to come have a look at the Joyce manuscript.
I see. And did you meet with him yesterday after he arrived?
To be honest, yes, I did. Just very briefly at his hotel room. He gave me this for safekeeping. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it must be a key of some sort.
James Joyce's letter that Christensen had hidden in the closet is missing. I have a hunch just who took it. I've been seeing this mysterious letter H everywhere. I should find one of those notes and compare them.
Stay out of this, you lot!
Not another move, Mr. Healy.
I'll take that cane, mate. Hand it over slowly.
The little punk was blackmailing me.
Ian, are you all right?
I am now. He was going to kill me. And he killed my father.
He may have tried to kill you, but he didn't murder your father. And as far as blackmail goes, you were blackmailing both Mr. Healy and your father.
What is the meaning of this? Fine, you've got me. We were in it together, Johann, his son Ian, and me. We came up with the hoax to pass off a forgery as an undiscovered work of James Joyce.
Apparently, father and son were not as estranged as Ian would have us believe.
I commissioned Johann to produce the forgery, which I then discovered. Johann was to authenticate it, the manuscript would be sold, and we'd split the profits neat and tidy. But just as everything was coming together, Ian decided to blackmail both of us.
Yes, Johann tried to force Colleen to give him access to the manuscript, not to examine it, but to steal it back, to protect himself from his son's blackmail threats. How did your father die, Ian?
I followed him to the library. We argued, I pushed him, and he fell, hitting his head on the manuscript's display case. It was an accident.
You, Mr. Healy, broke into Johann's hotel room to destroy any correspondence linking you as partners. And when Ian didn't drop his extortion demands, you lured him here to kill him.
And later, when Seamus found Christensen's body, he feared Colleen was somehow responsible for his death, and struck him with the trophy to cover up the first wound.
You have no proof that I was ever in Johann's hotel room.
I do. Thanks to this letter you have framed here, Mr. Healy. It's the same one that went missing from Johann's belongings. If your love for Joyce hadn't turned your fingers sticky, you might have gotten away with this one.
That's all I need to see. Come along, you two.
James Joyce summed it up best. The actions of man are the best interpreters of their thoughts.
Like a bullet from a gun, she arrived on the scene. A young detective who doesn't know the meaning of fear.